So, if you are currently a student in high school, or if you're just a young person in general, you are making big decisions that can alter many more years than what you've already been alive, than how long you've already been alive on planet Earth, right? And these big decisions are going to affect the course of the rest of your life. And you're probably thinking, am I making the right decision, especially when it comes to how to choose my college major or how to even choose my career path in general, right? And you're even maybe asking yourself, why am I forced to choose what I should do for the rest of my life when I am this young? Why is society forcing me to choose what I should do for the rest of my life when I'm only 13, 14, 15, 16 years old maybe? Or even if you're in college right now, maybe you're 21, you have what, 50, 60, 70 years more of life left? Why should I choose this early into the game, right? And should I choose later? Can't I hold back? What should I do when I don't have enough information on how I should choose my major and career path? Well, this video right here is going to give you so much clarity on what to do, especially if you are a young person, especially if you're a student in high school. I am the founder of Sharp Education, and what we do is help students get into the college of their dreams and pursuing career paths and majors that they dream of, right? And this is the exact process we take our students through in order to make sure they find a major that they not only like, but they are extremely competent at as well. Because you don't want to be in something you're very good at and you don't like, otherwise you're just going to be miserable, right? Or you don't want to be something that that you like, but you're terrible at. Then you're just not going to be good. You want to find a balance between what I like and what I'm very good at. And this is the exact process we take them through. And again, through watching this, you will learn how to choose the right major for you and how to choose the right career path that would be a good fit for you, right? Again, if you're in high school, this is especially important to know well before you apply to college, as you can tailor the extracurricular activities you engage in specifically to the major you want to follow towards. And plus, it's never a bad thing to have some clarity in your career path early. So before we even move on, I want to talk about a couple myths about majors and career paths. And the first myth, and my personal biggest pet peeve when it comes to people choosing their career paths and majors, is thinking that people don't have to develop range. People just think they know exactly what they want to major in, and they only have to learn things within that major and nothing else. For example, if a student knows 100% that they want to major in computer science, they believe that anything that they learn apart from computer science will be useless. And they ignore or even maybe devalue other subjects and disciplines like business, science, maybe design, maybe arts, and they devalue or at least maybe ignore other subjects that are unrelated to their major specifically. But in reality, the people with the broadest range of skills are the most valuable people in the marketplace. Let me repeat that again. The people with the broadest range of skills are the most valuable people in the professional marketplace. Why? Think about it like this. If a student is majoring in computer science right now, for example, and maybe they think I'm in computer science and I'm going to go towards a software engineering career path, right? If that's not you, just stick with it. I'm going to kind of draw this example. You'll understand what I mean. And say they become a software engineer a couple of years after college, right? Or maybe directly out of college. But what is beyond that? Do they just move up in the ranks of software engineering? Maybe they want to transition from being a software engineer to a software engineer manager, or even something like a product manager, right? So they can move even bigger in the company and have more opportunity for themselves. But here's the thing. If I'm going to use the example of moving from software engineer to product management, right? They're kind of similar, but also different. Just stick with it. The best product managers have a good understanding of these 7 subjects. According to the book, Product Management's Sacred 7, it's a book about product management. I'm using this example because I used to be intern as a product manager, so I understand it close to home. But the best product managers understand product design, economics, marketing and growth, psychology, UI UX design, law and policy, and data science. The best product managers, it's not just about learning product management. They have all knowledge in all these disciplines, right? I'm not saying the average, I'm just saying the best. And in the end, you want to be the best in what you major in, right? So or at least you want to be in the top of what you decide to do a career path in, right? And this is not to say that if you want to become a product manager, you need to major in all of these. Because yes, you can probably major in every single thing here, right? There's economics majors, there's marketing majors, psychology majors, law, data, like design majors. First of all, that's inefficient to try to major in all of these because you're spending a lot of time and you're spending a lot of money in school, right? But here's the thing, rather use the major you are majoring in as your stepping stone for your career path and nothing more. Use the major as a stepping stone, nothing more. And if you base your entire career off of what you major in, you are constricting your growth. Seriously. For example, in the end, someone who understands marketing will never be as valuable as somebody who understands both marketing and finance. And the person who understands both marketing and finance will never be as valuable as the person who understands marketing, finance, economics, and engineering. Seriously, like people who have range in different subjects are way more valuable than somebody who has deep expertise. And I mean, there are good arguments to why you should specialize. There's a book called Range. I think it's by a man named David Epstein. I think that's his name. I haven't read the book, but the general point is that to become better, you need to learn a bunch of different skills, right? And you can't only learn that skill within what you major in. You have to kind of go out and learn on your own. You have to kind of go out and learn these skills on your own. For example, if you're trying to become a product manager, at least if you're trying to become among the best product managers, it's inefficient to major in all of these. Both too much time and too much money. Instead, take the time on your own to learn economics. Take the time on your own to learn marketing, psychology, law, policy, data science. Take time to just study these on your own. And then as a result of that, you'll get better or at least build relationships in these types of fields, right? Because the person who has the best range has the most leverage because they can manage more types of people and they can pivot and they can adjust, and overall they're not affected if only one discipline isn't working out for them because they have so many other skill sets. And yes, you can be very narrow in what you specialize in. That's fine. That I know more people will recommend to do that. That being said, it's not a direction I push my students to go towards. And it's up to you. Maybe in the end, you might say, I want to specialize in something. But here's the thing. Learning enables more learning. I don't know if that makes sense. Basically, learning something in one major, something new, helps you learn in other fields as well. This is why sometimes people in their career paths or when they're just learning a skill kind of get constricted, right? They don't improve, even though they continue learning more about the subject. But according to the book Change or Die by Alan Dutchman, people are able to surpass that sort of barrier, that's constricted barrier, when they go out and learn completely different things. When they go out and do something like dance classes, figure skating classes, swim, maybe learning a new language, it helps them grow in the main field that they're trying to specialize in as well. So just because you have to go out and learn a whole range of skills doesn't mean you're going to be worse at the skill you were trying to do in the first place. In fact, learning range and learning a bunch of other skills is actually going to help you in the place you're trying to go in as well. So that's my biggest pet peeve. I want you guys to develop range. Anybody watching this, I want you to develop range. I don't want you to just be so stuck in one thing. I want you to be versatile. I want you to be able to adjust when things happen in the marketplace, things happen in the economy, or even when other opportunities pop up for you. Because if you're so specialized in one area, you're kind of limiting yourself to only one set of opportunities when there's a whole bunch of opportunity in the world. So please take my advice, or at least consider just developing range. Worst case, you will kind of have more respect for other people, and you'll be able to have more conversations with other people, maybe even be able to partner with people who have different skill sets than you. Best case is now you have much better career growth. Because think of a CEO. A CEO doesn't just understand that one skill. Like, for example, a CEO of a tech company doesn't just understand tech. They probably understand marketing. They probably understand finance. They probably understand management to some degree, leadership. So many skills. So if you want to be a bigger fish, you need to have a wider set of skills. That's my first thing before I move on to anything. Now, coming back to how to decide where you want to do your career path in and where you want to do your major in is to spend time. That's the most important thing. Spend time. Because most people decide on their career path and their major too quickly. Because your major is a choice that can impact you for 4 years or longer, and your career choice is a choice that can impact you for your lifetime, right? And there's no need to rush into these decisions. There's a book called The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Great book, by the way. If you've never heard of Naval, he's a very successful founder, very successful investor, early investor in companies like Twitter, Uber, Stack Overflow. And there's a book, it's not actually written by Naval, it was written by a guy who took all of Naval's interviews, tweets, and wrote it as if it was from Naval's own first person point of view. That's how much of an impact. Other people are writing books about him even though when he's still alive, right? So there's an amazing passage. And the passage, if I can scroll in a little bit, the passage says, what is the most important thing to do for younger people when starting out? And he says, spend more time making the big decisions. There are basically 3 really big decisions you make in your early life: where you live, who you're with, and what you do. And we spend very little time deciding which relationship to get into. We spend so much time in a job, but we spend so little time deciding which job to get into. And choosing what city to live in can almost completely determine the trajectory of your life. But we spend so little time trying to figure out what city to live in. And in the book, these gray boxes are tweets from his Twitter, taken out from his Twitter. And the tweet says, advice to a young engineer considering moving to San Francisco. Quote, open quote, do you want to leave your friends behind or be the one that's left behind? And he finishes off the passage by saying, if you're going to live in a city for 10 years, if you're going to be in a job for 5 years, if you're going to be in a relationship for a decade, you should be spending 1 to 2 years deciding these things. These are highly dominating decisions. Those 3 decisions really matter. And you have to say no to everything and free up your time so you can solve the important problems. Those 3 are probably the 3 biggest ones. So if this didn't connect with you, just the most important thing when it comes to choosing your career path and choosing your major is to just spend time. There's no need to rush into it. Yes, society is telling you need to choose quickly, but that doesn't mean you need to choose. At least you can start taking action without deciding. And I'm going to show you how this works. But please just don't be afraid to spend time. Now, if you aren't sure what you want to major in, embrace the uncertainty. As I said earlier, similar to what I said earlier, embrace the uncertainty. It's a good thing that you realized you are unsure. And that is a level of self-awareness some people don't have. Some people just decide not to have the self-awareness and think to themselves, my family is in this, so I should go into this. I would just expect to be good at this or something of the sort, right? They don't at least stop to think, I have a feeling that this might not be the right for me, or at least ask themselves, is this the right feeling that I'm feeling right now? Am I doing the right decision by going into this? Should I really reconsider? And it's a good thing to reconsider. And even if you are sure about what you want to major in, don't be afraid of questioning yourself and ask yourself why you feel sure about what you want to major in. And ask yourself questions like, do I feel sure because my parents are in this field? Do I feel sure about my career path because I happen to be good at skills related to it? Was I told that this is the right thing to major in? Is this a field that will make me happy? Have I put proper effort into exploring other career paths? And do I find the work in this field enjoyable? Questions like that can really open up a lot for you. And yes, these can be questions that are hard to ask. And it's even harder to be honest with yourself when answering these questions, right? But here's the thing, we can't be delusional about the career path we choose because life is too short for that. So do me a favor and do yourself a favor and develop the self-awareness to ask yourself questions like these and answer them honestly. And don't be afraid to keep asking such questions even in the long term, even if you did find a career path that suits you. As it's better to be safe than sorry. It's better to be safe than have regrets for the rest of your life. I don't know if you heard Steve Jobs said, if you don't find something that compels you, keep searching, don't decide. And he didn't rush into choosing his career path at all. At the same time, his career path was of an outlier. It's not every day everybody starts a company that's going to be the number one most valued company in the world like Apple, right? At the same time, I just want to mention that he didn't rush into even deciding to start that, right? So do me a favor and do yourself a favor. Don't be afraid to wait and be a little more patient when it comes to choosing. But just because you are patient doesn't mean you shouldn't do anything towards finding your major. You shouldn't wait for things to happen. And this is where this section comes in. This is what you should be doing. So when it comes to actually finding your major, yes, now assuming you are now embracing the uncertainty and assuming you're deciding to be a little bit more patient when it comes to how to choose, you should still be taking action. And what I mean by action, I don't mean using things like online personality or career tests or quizzes. There's probably so many of those career assessments online, which is the right career assessment for me. I'm not a fan of that. Sure, you can try to figure it out. You're not going to get it. I'm a much bigger fan of learning by doing. I'm a much bigger fan of learning by doing. And this can range from things like taking courses, shadowing professionals, talking to others in a particular industry, or even assessing your own career strengths and weaknesses, right? And let's take an example. If you want to consider learning more about business, for example, you can search up the classes at your dream university. Would say you can find courses or lectures online related to those classes. For example, let's take UC Berkeley's classes for undergraduates who study business. You can see right here, let me see if I can scroll in. So if you become a business major at a university, say you want to go to UPenn Wharton, you want to go to UCLA or UC Berkeley, you can search up in your major what are the classes the students would take, right? This, for example, is for Berkeley's Business School for undergraduates. You will see that they take communications, micro and macroeconomics, accounting classes, finance classes, business analytics, marketing, leadership, and there's even some other substitution types classes. You can search up the class numbers for these and everything, but here's the thing. Required courses include things like economics, finance, marketing, business analytics, etc., and others. But what you can do is search up lectures online related to those classes. MIT, for example, uploaded all of their lectures from their microeconomics class onto YouTube. If you go onto YouTube and type in MIT microeconomics, you'll see a whole playlist of their actual lectures. And not just some online certification course or anything. This is actually MIT microeconomics lectures. My student is considering doing business right now. What he decided to do, or what I asked him to do, and he also decided, thankfully he's taking action, is study those lectures, even though he's not at MIT. He's currently an incoming junior in high school. Just learning microeconomics. Or what you can even do is go onto websites like Coursera or Udemy and find courses related to the subject. There's probably a ton about things like marketing and business analytics, right? This is just for business majors as an example, but even software engineering. You can just search up software engineering lectures. I think Harvard posts all of their lectures about computer science on YouTube. You can search up business analytics lectures on YouTube. Just start trying to absorb the knowledge and see how you feel. And as you're doing that, you can start asking yourself, do I find this content interesting? Would I be opposed to taking such classes in college? Is this kind of a trajectory where I want to move my career towards, right? And ideally try to do this with multiple disciplines and fields of study. Try to develop range. Try doing it for engineering, biology, business, medicine, maybe design. What else? Maybe law, policy, political science, life science classes and things like that. And I understand it might be painful and it might feel painful and tedious to learn about all these subjects just to kind of settle on one. But through this process, you will learn the field that speaks out to you the most. As in worst case, you will again come back to the major or career path you were already deciding upon. And now you would just have a stronger belief in terms of I am going towards the right path, right? Best case, maybe you come across something that speaks to you a little bit more than what you were thinking of deciding on earlier. So take the time, put in the effort to explore different things and do it and learn about other fields by doing. By doing, don't just like sit there and think, oh, is biology going to be a good path for me? I'm just going to sit here in my chair and just think. No, search up some biology lectures, try to talk to people in the field, ask them questions, ask them doubts, tell them things like, maybe even ask professionals, maybe you're reconsidering medicine and you're interested in medicine, but you're scared of the amount of time it takes to become a doctor, for example. You can ask people who are doctors, ask them why you decided to go through that. Were you aware it was going to take this much time? Do you find it worth it and why? And see what they say. Maybe the answers they say don't resonate with you. Maybe they will. Feel free to be very transparent when asking different people about your thoughts on different fields. Now you're just going to get so much clarity for yourself, right? So you can even search up careers like, actually, before I get to this, a good strategy, as I was saying earlier, is talk with people in a field you're curious about. Ask your parents if they know anyone, or even ask your teachers or friends, right? And what you can also do is search up career paths or jobs on LinkedIn. I think my camera's glitching out, my fault. What you can do is even search up career paths, jobs, or roles or titles on LinkedIn and message people you come across with something like, hello, I'm a student in X high school. I'm interested in becoming X, and I would love to ask you questions about what that's been like for you. Would you be open to chat over Zoom briefly or over the phone sometime? I think, damn, my camera is really glitching. But yeah, something like this, sending it to a professional you're interested in the field you're considering doing. Maybe it could be becoming a doctor. Maybe it could be going towards a business-related path or something else, right? And is my camera going to come back? Whatever. So not everybody will respond to such a message, but some people will, and that some people is all you need to educate yourself and build knowledge. That some people that message you back to this type of a message is all you need to educate yourself and build knowledge. And in the end, you just want to learn, and you're going to learn about different paths by doing. So final lesson, final takeaway is choose a path where you not enjoy being part of, but also one where you feel you want to become the best in. And notice how I didn't say choose a path where you feel you can be the best in. There's a difference between choosing a path where you want to be the best in and choosing a path where you can feel like you can be the best in. And the reason why there's a difference is because you're probably watching this as a high school student, meaning you probably haven't put in the proper effort or ample time required to become good. And even if you're naturally strong at something, don't feel like you're naturally strong at something. I know it sounds paradoxical, but I'll repeat that again. Even if you feel you are naturally strong at something, don't feel that way. Just decide to ignore that feeling, because there's a long road ahead at becoming the best at something. So don't feel overconfident as you haven't done the required work yet. And don't feel unconfident because you haven't done the required work yet either. You can become great at anything as long as you apply yourself. So let's see if I could. Yeah, I don't think my camera's working anymore. Sorry, guys. But just want to tell you, thank you so much if you've gone through the whole thing. Take some takeaways, apply this. So the takeaways, recap, make sure you develop range. Make sure you are learning by doing. Feel free to talk to people. Feel free to even take courses, shadow professionals, talk to other people in different industries, and ask yourself questions to develop the proper self-awareness to ask yourself, is this the right path for me? Oh, there we go. The camera's finally working at the end of the video, and it glitched out again. So thank you so much for watching, and feel free to ask any questions in the comments.